I like me better when I'm with you.
What's up, you guys? I am here for another Storytime talk video. If you haven't read the title, which you should have by now, but this one is going to be strictly about relationships and friendships and why I have trust issues and why those things never really worked out for me. And on a personal level, I'm going to name names, but if you guys are watching this, any of you who are my ex-best friends or ex-boyfriends, this is not to bash you. This is not to give you hate credit or for you to actually get any hate. I want no hate to go to these people. What happened, happened, and it's in the past, which is why it's in the past for a reason, and I don't want that to affect anything or cause any drama, so leave the hate out, please. Alright, so I'm going to include pictures just so you guys get a visual of what we had when we were friends or when in a relationship. I'm going to start from the very beginning, which is going to start from like 4th grade because that's when I actually started getting my first real relationship. That's when it really started. So in 4th grade, I went to a summer camp that summer and a guy named Ian. We were literally inseparable. We talked almost every single day for hours upon hours, hung out and did everything together, went to the pool party and everything together, did everything that you can imagine, and just were like best friends. And then when we like got home, we realized we don't live that far, so it was like a 10-minute drive from each other's house, which was awesome. So we got each other's numbers. He asked me out, we went on dates, and like it escalated from there. Surprisingly, we dated for 4 years and never once kissed. Yeah, your face is probably just as much as mine right now. So there's that. We dated from, I think, when I was in 4th grade and he was in 6th, all the way until I was in 9th grade and he was, I think, in 11th, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, somewhere around there. We went to like a zombie fest my 9th grade in like October, went to Halloween Horror Nights, Hall Scream, and it was all good. It was all well and good. We just, I don't know, something felt kind of off about the relationship and I couldn't see what. So it took me a while to really figure out what that was, and turns out it was actually, you know, I felt it was more of like a friendship relationship than it was love or anything like that. So, sorry. It happens quite a lot with them coming in and out. They don't know when I'm filming, so hi. So anywho, I just felt something was off and I realized it was more of a friendship. So I talked to him and we had talked it out and like, you know, we agreed mutually like let's just stay friends, like, and I told him, I was like, I hope that we like can still hang out and like, you know, still be friends after this. That never happened. So we never really talked much. It was really shorthanded when we did talk. I just bumped into him a couple weeks ago for the first time in like 4 years, but I didn't actually say anything to him. He didn't even notice me, so. And then I texted him about it, and he was really shorthanded with me. And then I texted him happy birthday there. But that's a whole different story. I'm not here to bash on him. It's all good. So here's a picture of when we were together. Sad news. I know. We were cute. So I moved on from that relationship, and then my old best friend, because we used to be best friends, Megan, her mom dated this dude who had this son, and we had liked each other for a while, but I was in a relationship at the time, so like nothing happened. And then when I got out of the relationship, it was like, ooh, yay. So we flirted a little here and there. That's another story. We'll get on to that a little bit later into this. So I knew this kid who was a junior at Lakeland, and we had PE together. Thought he was super cute. I was 9th grader and he was in 11th grade. His name was Andrew. I think I have a picture. He had told me that he liked me and whatnot, and so I was like, cool, an 11th grader likes me. Awesome. Love that for me. So we started dating. I was such in awe because I was like, I'm dating an older dude. I feel cool. He ended up sitting me down like maybe a month later and was like, yeah, this relationship's just not gonna happen. He says, I just don't feel it, but I hope we can still be friends. Yeah, sure. So we ended that relationship. And about 2.5 weeks later, I ended up actually starting to talk to this kid more named Anthony. We had been friends since like 1st, 2nd grade, somewhere around there. And we've been friends since like elementary school. So like we knew each other very well. We started talking, getting closer, and I started growing feelings for him. Started dating like the 12th of December, I think, 15th, something around there, 16th, I don't know. Somewhere around December, we started dating. And we went back and forth to each other about 5 times in the span of 3 years. Kill myself. Here's a picture of us. So that was that relationship. And I don't know, like we just didn't work. Like he wanted things that I didn't want, and we just wanted 2 different things, and we just didn't work. So he broke up with me, I broke up with him. He broke up with me, he broke up with me, I broke up with him. So like it was 5 times of just going back and forth to each other. I don't know why I went back to him 5 times. Your question is as good as mine. So come about January-ish, I started dating this dude named Choi. I don't really have any pictures of us. Hi. We started dating for a month and a half, 2 months, somewhere around there. Something like that. So we dated for like 2 months. He came to me after like during a PE class like on a Monday, and he was like, I have something I need to tell you. And I was like, okay, sure, what's up? And he was just kind of like, so I went to a party this weekend and I may have woke up naked next to a girl in bed and there were open condoms on the floor. And like, I don't know if I had sex with her. I don't think I did. And then as soon as he said that, I literally ignored him the entire day. I didn't even talk to him. I like ignored him the entire day. And I was just like, I'm not dealing with this. Like, this is like the least of my worries. Like, this is the last thing I need. So I ignored him all day, and then towards the end of the day, he knew I rode the bus, and he knew what my bus number was. So he was waiting there for me, and he was like, why aren't you talking to me? And I was like, I'm not talking to you because of what you told me today. And so I got on the bus, went home, and then when I got home, he texted me. He was like, oh, it's just a test. It was just a test. I was just testing you. And I'm like, you don't tell someone, especially your girlfriend, something like that just for it to be a test. No. So that's what I said to him, and I broke up with him because he literally admitted to me that he cheated on me. I was like, great. Yeah, you woke up naked next to a girl in bed, and you were going to tell me and sit there and say, oh, I don't think I had sex with her. Excuse me? What? Who are you? So I didn't get a relationship after that one for I think I ended up going back to Anthony. I think that's when I went back to Anthony during like Valentine's Day weekend, somewhere around there. And then we dated for like another 3 months, broke up. Hi. And then during the summer, about August, I ended up actually talking and getting closer again with Caleb, which is the dude that is my old best friend's mother's boyfriend's son, sorry. And so we dated for about 3.5, 4-ish months. We did stuff. Great. Here's a picture of him. Or us. That was that. And so we dated. Yippee-ki-yay. And he was slick. He lived like probably, I think it's 3 hours from here. So he was slick. Little did he not think that I wouldn't see this, but he was hanging out with another girl who happened to tag him in a post with a picture of them on Facebook saying, I love you, baby. So I instantly texted him after that, and I was like, yeah, you didn't think I would see this. Okay, cool. We're over. We're done. Bye. And ended that. And we did stuff, like, let me get this to you. We did stuff, and I thought that I was okay with Anthony. I thought we were good. All that jazz. We started dating again in December. Broke up again in, like, January, February, and around that time I had my dance auditions for my dance team, and then I went to dance class that night. While I was in dance class, my mom came and picked me up, and she was like, oh yeah, so like Anthony was on the phone with me, and I asked him like, is there anything like I don't know about my daughter that I need to know? And like he told me everything that you did with Caleb and this and that, and like he told me stuff that like happened with Megan, and I was furious, like absolutely furious. Like I was like, who in the world thinks it's their business and their right to go and tell their parent something like this to them? And I'm like, I told him in confidentiality, whatever. So I instantly lost every sense and ounce of trust I had with Anthony at that time. There was like, oh yeah, well, we have no choice, but like I have to call Megan's parents and blah, 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 blah. And so she told everything to her parents, and like I started getting text messages from Caleb, I started getting text messages from Megan, like absolutely pissed off, and I didn't know how to handle the situation. I was just like, you know what, like I didn't tell her. I'm like, you don't think I'm in trouble? You don't think I'm in trouble? Like I'm in trouble. Like I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know how like they're gonna, you know, punish me or whatnot. And so that friendship is where that friendship went down the drain. Here's a picture of me, Megan. That friendship that we had went down the drain. I met her when I was in 6th grade. Literally, you know, it was like 6th to 10th grade. We had a 5-year relationship for 5-year friendship that just went down the drain because of one instance. And like now we're good. Like we're on talking terms now, but like we're not like, you know, close like we used to be. And, you know, she's living on her with her life, going to college, taking care of her kid and everything like that. And I'm over here just going to college, working. So, like, we're both, you know, living our lives to the best and to the fullest that we can. But me and Caleb are not on talking terms. He has me blocked on Twitter. He doesn't talk to me. He doesn't text me. I think he blocked my number. I don't really know. I don't really care. Boy was an asshole. Hi. Yeah, I know this. I said this video isn't going to be bashing anyone, but I absolutely despise him, so hi. So that's where the first friendship went down the drain, and that's another relationship that just, but he also cheated on me. Let me, like, get this to your bed. It was the second time I've been cheated on. So I ended up dating this kid I knew since, like, 6th grade. After that was, like, because I had been single for, like, a month to 3-ish months. We had started talking about, I think, February, and then we started dating in like March. Yeah, we started dating in March. This kid's name is Erin. I don't think I have any pictures, but if I find any, then it'll be in the video. But we had, you know, started talking, and we started reconnecting from middle school again because we hadn't seen each other for like 4 years. So actually 2. I don't know, I'm saying 4 years, 2. It's 2 years. So, you know, we started talking again, and all was well and good. He just came off iffy. I didn't really like the way, like, how our relationship really worked, and I don't feel like we worked as a couple together. I feel like we should have just been friends, and that's how it should have been. But things happened. We dated 3 months, and I just couldn't handle it anymore, so I ended that. Again, if I find any pictures, they'll be in this video. So I was single for about 4 or 5-ish months. Went to a football game. My ex-best friend Jenna went to the games with me, and I noticed that the guy that I had always had a crush on since like freshman year, he was a senior that year, was at the games, and I started talking to him. I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you forever. Like, how are you doing? And he was like, I'm good, I'm good. His name was Jeremiah. And this is where those trust issues, that wall that I told you about in the beginning, really started to build up. Me and Jeremiah started talking. I found his Twitter, and like we started connecting on there. And I told him how I like really liked him. This was like a week before homecoming, and I was like, I really like you, and like I really wanted to go to homecoming with you, but like I was too scared to ask or say something. And he was like, oh man, I really like you too. I wish you had said something, because then like I could have had the time and chance to like ask you out to homecoming. I was like, oh my god. So technically we went to homecoming together, danced together on the floor, and like he, after they announced the homecoming king and queen, and they had the first dance, and then like it was a slow song, so like he walked over and pulled me into the middle with him, and we started to slow dance. Then he leaned in and kissed me. It was magical. Sparks and fireworks were fluttering. So he, you know, met up with me in the morning that Monday, and he was just like, you know, I really felt like something on Friday night or Saturday night, and like I really want there to be more. Would you like want to be my girlfriend? So I was like, yeah, sure. I said yes. I was a junior, he was a senior. I said yes. Hell to the yes. I had a crush on him since like freshman year. Girl was fluttering, okay? Girl was flying in the clouds. So me and him dated, and everything was fine. Like, we had a great relationship. We went to a football game together. Really didn't go on dates, but like what we had was amazing. I was in love. Blah, blah, blah. One random day in November, so we started dating like September, and one random day in November, he pulled me to the side and he was just like, senior year is just too much. I can't take it. I just can't do a relationship right now. I think we're gonna have to just stay friends for right now, because like this is just too much for me right now, and I need to focus on school and focus on finishing out my senior year. And I was like, oh, okay, because I was completely taken aback. I was like, where did this come from? Like, I wasn't expecting this. Like, obviously it felt kind of iffy the last few days, but I was like, I'm thinking overboard. I'm too overthinking it. And then the next day, I saw him holding hands with another girl. And let me get this straight to you. Me and this girl did not like each other whatsoever. We did not like each other because she was the girl he cheated on me with. And she ended up getting cheated on by him later on. And we'll say we're okay now. We don't have any hate towards anyone. So this is pictures of me and Jeremiah. And now we're going to move on, because this is kind of around the same time period this happened. So Thanksgiving break of junior year absolutely was shit. It was shit. And let me tell you why it was shit. Like I said, I'm not bashing anyone, but at the time, this is what I was feeling. So like, I'm putting all those feelings out there and forward for you guys. I'm expressing them. I'm telling you my side of the story. I am going full out. If they choose to hate me from here on out again because of this video, so friggin' be it. But like, they probably don't know how I felt, and like they probably haven't even heard the full extent. But anyway, spring break, that Thanksgiving break sucked. Absolutely shit. Hated it. Fuck that. Fuck everything that weekend. So not only did Jeremiah break up with me, I introduced my friend Jenna, who I told you about at the football games, to my friend Caitlin, who has been in multiple videos with me. You guys know who she is. Better know who she is. If you don't, go down to my other videos. So I introduced them together, but I was kind of feeling like left out of the picture a little bit. So they started hanging out without me. I was kind of feeling left out of the circle. So I FaceTimed Caitlin, because I had texted everyone that week. I was like, happy Thanksgiving. Like, this is like, it was like a full paragraph, like why I appreciated them and why I was thankful for everyone. And I got a very short and slight response from Jenna. And I knew something was off, because she's never shorthanded texted me before. So I FaceTimed Caitlin, because Jenna didn't want to FaceTime me. So I FaceTimed Caitlin. I noticed in the background, because me and Jenna were friends for literally 2 years. And I realized and recognized the bedroom and was like, are you at Jenna's house? And she was like, how do you know? I was like, I know her bedroom. Like, we were friends before you guys for like 2 years. And Jenna popped in and was like, yeah, she's at my house. Welcome to Florida. So she was like, yeah, she's at my house. And I was like, okay, so that's pretty much how it's gonna be. And that whole thing was a whole fight. Me and Caitlin are good now, as you guys know. Me and Jenna, I don't really know where we stand. We don't really talk to. We follow each other on social media, and like, that's about it. We don't really talk. But here's a picture of me and Jenna from our friendship. That's that. I don't really have anything else for that. That ended junior year. So after Jeremiah had cheated on me, I was like, I'm over relationships. I am just over it. I I can't do this anymore. Like, I'm tired of trusting people. Hi, this is where we get a little bit started into the, you know, the story. A couple flings after him, you know, Bobby, Skylar. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. Then in January, I was running auditions for Harrison to get the kids to walk where they needed to be. And this kid comes walking with me, and he goes, "Hi, I'm Gillip. What's your name?" I said, I'm Erin. He goes, "I'm in the chorus department." I was like, "Cool, I'm in the theater department." And like, never seen this kid before. I had no clue who he was. So about like February-ish comes around. I was waiting in the hallway for my class to open up, and he comes bursting through the doors with his friends, looks at me, stops, puts his hands on my shoulders, and goes, "What's your name?" I said, "My name's Erin." And he was like, "Okay, I was just wondering. Didn't want to seem weird. Got in a car accident, may have forgotten a couple things. That's that." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, are you okay?" And he's like, yeah, I'm fine now." So he kept walking. Again, never seen this kid in my life before. I'm telling you guys, this is like the weirdest thing. When you see one person, you just keep seeing them. I walked usually from the one building straight to my bus because my bus was like right out there. So I was walking to my bus. Here he comes trotting along. And he starts to catch up with me. And he's like, "What are you doing here?" I was like, I ride the bus. My bus is like right there. And he goes, "Oh my gosh, I keep seeing you everywhere." He would walk me from there on out until like May to my bus, and we would just talk for like the 5-7 minutes walk we had. And actually back in like the start of May, he like just got the courage to ask me for my number. So we texted like all the time. And we texted all summer. In July, I was having a really rough time with like, you know, Ingress. It was like my dance team was like long, strenuous hours of rehearsals all week long. So at the end of the week, I was exhausted, and he was like, "Okay, well, do you want anything from Chick-fil-A? I'm going to swing by and get you something to eat for dinner." Nicest thing, anything ever. And so he came by and dropped the Chick-fil-A off, and we stood outside of my house literally for 2 hours. 2 hours just talking about everything. And eventually he leaned in and gave me my first kiss. Or, well, our first kiss, not my first. And we had our first kiss, and I went inside, and he asked me to be his girlfriend. And I had this huge wall up. I told him, you know, I've been cheated on like 3 times. I'm not really about it. And I broke that wall down. He broke that wall down, and we dated. It was great. It was the best start of my senior year. I had a relationship. It was with an amazing guy, and things just, they were always kind of off between him and his parents, and like, you know, us going on dates. It was just kind of always like, it was his, you know, beliefs and like all that and that. And February 14th came around. I had this perfect date planned out for him, and I asked him like if he could go, and his parents, he said his parents weren't gonna let him, and he was just like, I'm really sorry, like I tried everything. And I was like, you know what, like I'm just tired of always having to be with your parents and just not being us. I don't want to make that like come across sexually, or I don't want to do anything sexually. I just want to hang out with just you, and it's just us. And apparently we can't seem to have that. So we got into a huge argument, and he said that, you know what, we'd be better off as friends. This is where it starts getting interesting. And I love the kid. Like, me and him are good friends. He's on a missions trip. Like, we email each other all the time. So, like, no hate towards him. Love him now. Has, like, if he were to get in the hospital, I would drive my butt hours just to be there with him and make sure everything's okay. Like, that is how much I honestly, truly care about him. You know, he got in a big fight. He said we'd be better off as friends. About a couple days later, I noticed he was with another girl. So I invited my best friend Amber and my other friend Allie to this place where I was going to have the date, and I captioned the picture on Instagram and said, when your ex cancels on you, your best friends always have your back. Apparently that was offensive. It wasn't a good thing to say online. So he started coming at me like saying, oh, well, now you're posting about me on social media, aren't you? All this and that. So we got an even bigger fight, and I realized he was with another girl, and I had told him, I was like, so that's why you never fought for me, just to keep me. That's why you just let me go out the door. You just let me walk out. And he was like, well, I kind of like dropped feelings along like a while back, and like I didn't know how to tell you, and I didn't want to tell you. And I was just like, you know what, like if you just told me from the beginning, like this would have never been a problem. I said, you knew I had been cheated on 3 times, and you did the exact same thing to me. Because they had been talking like while we were together, so it was kind of like, yeah, you were cheating on me. Sorry, like you're talking to other girls behind my back, like while we're dating. That's cheating, honey. You don't have to do anything but text and talk to each other. They had dated, and the rest of my senior year, I didn't let that get the best of me. I was like, you know what, it's my senior year. I'm not gonna let this affect that. I'm gonna just live the best life that I can. So summer came around, we graduated, and I was sleeping with Amber. That's when we spent the entire summer together. And he came over and he apologized like an actual man. And he said, I'm so sorry, like I broke your heart, and I didn't realize the crap that I put you through at the time. And I'm super duper sorry. And now I realize that he is like me. He doesn't like to hold grudges against people. I always like to make at least amends, because holding stuff against people is the worst to do. I never, like, even though I'm coming off like as I hate these people, I really don't. Like, we're all good. Me and Megan were good. Me and Jenna, I don't know where we are, but we're not like hating each other anymore. So I make amends with people, and I get that's why he was doing it as well. He was also doing it because he was leaving on a mission trip for 2 years, and I feel like he didn't want that to hold us back for, a while. He wanted us to be friends, and I did want us to be friends as well, because I still love and care about him more than anything. And, I haven't been in a relationship since him, and that was February 14th of 2017. Like, that was coming up. It's gonna be in like 4 months. It's gonna be like 2 years. So this is the whole story on why I don't really have trust issues, but it's hard for me to trust anybody. And the only real like best friends that are really like stuck by my side since the longest I can remember is Callista, picture, Caitlin, Julie, and last but not least, can't forget about my gal, Amber. Like those two have come in my life recently, like Avery, Colton, or even Summer, or Sam. Like, they have always got my back, and I know that those friendships aren't going to go down the drain. And if like, me and Caitlin we've hit a couple bumps since then, and like, obviously like we talk through our issues, and like that's the great thing about being older and about being more mature, is like you realize that you're not going to do the same high school-y stuff that you're going to do with your other friends. Like, you're going to make amends, and you're going to talk about your problems, and that's that. Like, you're not going to hide them. I don't really have trust issues. It's just hard for me to let people in. I have this barrier up, and it's hard for me to figure out how to get that barrier down. But who knows, my love of my life could be halfway across the country, so when I move to California, who knows, he might just be over there. So that was my story time. That was the tea. I had to do a lot of research, like picture wise, and having to go down memory lane was a little hard. Not gonna lie, it was very hard, but that was my story. I've been cheated on 4 times. Hi. I've had a lot of friendships go down the drain. Hi. But I mean, that's just life. It's part of learning. It's part of growing. And, those people wouldn't have walked out of your life if they were meant to stay in it. So that's that. And I love you guys. Life's like a journey. Getting what you want, it takes work. That is a motto I came up with in 7th grade. I think it's a motto I'm going to always end these videos with, because I always want to share positivity with you guys. I always want you guys to know that if you are going through something, I'm always going through something. When the rain comes, it falls. So I'm dealing with car issues right now and financial issues. So like, I'm leaving for New Jersey in 2 weeks for Tri-State. So like, that is like, And then I have tests coming up next week and like homework and college, and it's like work, and it's like a lot. Like, but I have trust issues, but it's been easier for me to let new people into my life because I'm like, okay, you wouldn't walk into my life if you weren't supposed to be in my life. So if you're in my life right now, you're still here, you're in it for a reason. I love you guys. And I'm gonna end that there because this is a long ass video and I'm so sorry. I rambled quite a bit. So I love you guys. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and make sure you guys hit the bell so you get notified whenever I upload a new video. Hit the thumbs up button and comment below if you've ever been really through anything similar to my situations. You know, trust issues, cheating, friendship issues. If you've ever been through something like that, let me know in the comments below by putting a little cool emoji, and if you haven't, then put a poop emoji, because I like my poop emojis, you know what I'm saying. So, I love you guys. I will see you when I see you.